Hello. So, let's see, for you guys, it has maybe been a week or so since I posted part one, sort of my look back at 2016, and this is part two, sort of a look forward at 2017. For me, it has been a few moments, so this is past me talking to future you. Crazy. But yeah, so part one, I hopefully did a good job of talking about what I had been using for 2016 and what I'm kind of doing now. I say hopefully because, like I said, it's been a few moments, so I haven't even watched the video yet, so we'll see. But this part, I'm looking at 2017. I'm kind of going to talk about what my plans are for 2017 to do with these things that are all sitting here. So yeah, let's talk about the big one. I am not ordering a Hobonichi for 2017. Hold me to it. If you guys see me with a Hobonichi unboxing, scold me, because I am making a decision now that I'm not getting a Hobonichi for 2017. It's not that I don't love the Hobonichi. I think the Hobonichi is really great. It's just that I continue to fail repeatedly at using the Hobonichi. So I had one I had ordered one at the start of 2015, and then at middle of 2015 I ordered an Avec because I wanted kind of a fresh start, and then I had the 2016 one, and it's like such a great idea, and I want it to work so well for me, and it just doesn't. So I am not getting another Hobonichi this year because it's kind of an expensive thing to get when I continue to fail at it. So no Hobonichi for this year. That's okay. I love looking at other people's Hobonichis and stuff, but I think it's just not for me. So yeah, that's okay. So let's talk about this guy. So the Passport Midori. Again, I really love this. Obviously, I really enjoy the full-size Midori. The Passport one suffers a similar fate as sort of the 3.5 by 5.5 notebooks, in that they are both just a little bit too small. I don't enjoy writing as small as I need to be in here. I don't enjoy the small page size. They just don't work in terms of the journaling that I want to be doing that I talked about in part one. So I think with the sort of small stash I have now built up again of 3.5 by 5.5 notebooks, I'm going to continue to use them for project-specific things. I showed this one in my last one, but this one is for my yarn dyeing experiments, and that's been working really well. So that works great. I mentioned that I use one for my workouts, which I'm actually almost at the end of. So if I ever get back to the gym again, I will, continue to do that and start a new one, because it's been not a good week for going to the gym for me. But yeah, so they work really well for that. I was thinking about maybe using one to help organize sort of my office and the storeroom at work. But yeah, I think these are really good for sort of limited projects and stuff like that. So that's probably what these will be for going on in the future. And then the Passport Midori, I think what I'm going to use this for is actually holding passports. So Wesley and I, both have passports. Even though we don't travel internationally, I think we've never traveled internationally together. We do actually like to take our passports with us when we travel just domestically, because, it's another form of ID, and it's good, I think, just to have sort of that backup. We obviously don't carry them around with us just going out and doing things, but we use them at the airport and stuff, and that way, if we were to lose our driver's licenses or something horrible like that, we do have a second form of ID with us. So I think I'm actually going to replace, it currently just has 2 notebooks in there. I think I'm going to just replace those with both of our passports, so they're just in one nice handy place and in a cover that's easy to take them in and out of, but will help protect them from getting all banged up. And I have the zipper pocket in here, the passport size sort of card and zipper pocket, and I'll probably just leave that in there. It might be good for, putting in a little bit of emergency cash when we're traveling or something like that. But yeah, this I think will actually just become a passport cover. So crazy how that works, but I think it will work well for that, and that way it won't be going to waste or anything like that. So that's what this guy will be used for. And then looking forward into 2017, this is the plan. So again, I'm still just going to be kind of calendaring on digital sources. So Google Calendar, and then syncing it with my phone works really well for me. I think I've mentioned it before, but like my work calendar, I just always have up on the computer screen at work. I have a dual monitor setup, so one of my monitors just always has the calendar full screen, and that keeps track of everything I have to do at work. So it's, oh, you have to go teach in 10 minutes, or you have class in a couple minutes, or you have a meeting, or whatever. It just puts up alerts and reminds me of all those things. And then my personal calendar I use mostly just for reminding me of bills, reminding me to water my plants, and then like the rare personal sort of appointments that I have, which are so rare as to be very remarkable when they occur. But mostly my personal calendar is just for reminding me to pay my bills, because I need it to just interrupt my life and tell me I won't remember to look at a calendar and be like, oh, I have to pay a bill in 5 days. I need my calendar to do that. So that's what this guy is going to continue to do. And then I'm just going to continue to be doing my sort of bullet point journaling in my full-size Midori. And I want to talk a little bit more about the thing that I mentioned in part 1, which is like future me versus current me, because I'm not entirely sure that I was super coherent about what I was saying. And maybe I was, and maybe I'll just be repeating myself now. But, like I mentioned, realizing am I journaling for current me or future me was kind of pivotal in me being able to make some decisions about the future. So, like I said, I don't care so much about is it cute right now. Like, I mean, I do like the washi tape and stuff, and that's kind of fun. But if it's not there, I don't freak out or anything about it, because I'm journaling for future me. I'm writing things down now because I want to be able to look back in a year and say, oh yeah, that's what I was doing then. And on that vein, I don't tend to write down how I was feeling. If you look at my kind of journal entries, it's a lot of just what I did. Yesterday I wrote that I took an Old Navy box back to the post office because I had to return some stuff. I went to work, I wired a whole bunch of boxes, I got my first peppermint mocha of the year from Starbucks, we had pizza for dinner, stuff like that. Like, there's no feelings in there. It's what did I do? And I mean, on occasion I have written down feelings. Like let's see, a couple days ago, I think I wrote down that I was stressed about like holiday travel. And a couple days before that, I wrote down that I was feeling really stressed out about a project from work. But like, that's it. I just kind of wrote down like, I am stressed. And that's about it. Because, future me, like me in a year from now, is a different person than me now. And feelings are so fleeting. Like how I'm feeling now doesn't matter to future me. Future me wants to look back and say, like, what was I doing? Like, if I think about me now, looking back at past me a year ago when we first moved here, it's like, I want to look at what was I doing during the day? At the time I was unemployed, so what was I spending my day doing? Like, what was I filling my time with? And I have no record of that. I don't care how I was feeling, because me now is different than me a year ago. Me a year ago, yeah, was unemployed and sad. Me now is employed and not as sad. So those feelings are not as important as like kind of the facts, like what was I doing? So that's sort of what my journaling is emphasizing, is like recording what is happening now so that I can look back and see it later. And also thinking about this future me versus current me thing has helped me to sort of solidify this format, because as you can see, like I was bouncing around all over the place. Like I'd say I kind of found my system late spring or early summer of this year, and I just bounced around between all these formats trying to figure out like what did I want. And I realized like this is a problem. I mentioned that I went into my Hobonichi and rewrote some stuff that was in other notebooks, but I was like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. Why do I have so many different notebooks that are so disjointed? I just want all of it in one place, and I want it to all be in one format. And that is what really helped me, thinking about this future me is what really helped me just say, I'm sticking to one format, and that's it. And, I might not love it every day, but I don't hate it every day either. Like some days I'm like, oh gosh, this is so big. I would really like to, go back to something smaller, like the passport size. But then I remember like, this is not something that I enjoy most of the time, and that it is better for me to just pick a format and stick with it. And that future me will be much happier for that. So on that note, I've talked about these notebooks that I use are these Fabriano A5 notebooks that I have cut down, and they carry them at a local art supply store, and I buy them from there. And I think normally they are $4.50 a piece, and if I remember correctly, of course they cut it off here, but I think these are 80 pages. I think they are more pages than the Midori ones, and they're cheaper just normally. What Eversoft in this art supply store does you get a coupon for buy 1 or 100 of the same thing and you get 40% off or something. So I recently got a coupon like that where it was buy more than 1 of the same thing and you get 50% off. So I went in and bought 10 of these notebooks. And, because they were 50% off, they cost me $2.25 a piece. So even when I add in the $1 that I have to pay to get, the extra inch or whatever cut off, they're $3.25 a piece. And that's way cheaper than the Midori ones with more pages and better paper. So I kind of just committed. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy 10 of these notebooks and I'm just going to commit for the foreseeable future to this format. And while there are still days where I'm kind of maybe I want to go back to one of these guys, I have to just tell myself, no, you like this format works, you need to just stick with it because future you will be much happier to have, a box or a shelf or whatever with the same size notebooks, everything coherent and all in a line, versus the little bit of pleasure that current you is going to get from switching back and forth all the time. So yeah, I think that really kind of helped me with my thinking, and this is what I'm doing for next year. So I'm also going to be sticking with the Micron probably because, like I said in part 1, I carry this thing around with me pretty much everywhere. I mean, not all the time. If I'm just running to the store to get a soda or something, I don't take this with me. I take my card out and put it in my pocket. But this comes with me to work. It comes with me when I teach and stuff like that. It's in my backpack all day. And it's not so much that I'm worried about damaging a fountain pen because, most of what I use are my Safaris and they are pretty tough little guys. But it's more so that I'm just worried about dropping it or losing it when I have to take this out to grab my card out of it to pay for something at the store. So, the Micron is nice because I enjoy the way that it writes and it's easily replaceable if I lose one. And then looking forward, my fountain pens are pretty much going to be used for grading. I use one of them for writing out homework for the class that I'm currently taking. But yeah, they're going to be used much more in kind of a fun sort of way. Fun colors for grading and for writing out my homework and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my plans for 2017. Let me know what your guys' plans are. I am very fascinated always by kind of how people do things and what people, kind of what sticks and what doesn't. And who knows, I'm hoping this helps someone else who's kind of trying to figure out their plans for 2017 and maybe sort of thinking about it the way I did, where it's are you planning and journaling for current you or future you? I think really helped to simplify some things in my mind. So hopefully it does that for someone else. But yeah, that's going to be it for now, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.